So I've explained all these different elements to you, from technical things that you want to have on your website as far as what to link to make sure to be legal, to who it is that's looking at your website and why it is that they are there and what it is that they're thinking about. And I want you to ask yourself, why is all of this stuff important? Why is it that I care? And well, marketing should be informative. It shouldn't be annoying. The purpose of marketing, unlike what we've been exposed to on TV, is that true effective marketing, that we want to get our message in front of our ideal prospect when they are available to listen to us and to hear what it is that we have to say. And one example is that you might be at the grocery store and it's late and your spouse asked you to go and get some ice cream. And well, if next to you at that ice cream refrigerator is the most perfect client in the world, you still probably just, maybe say something about ice cream, but you don't want to proposition the client. It's about having that. This is what direct response marketing is. It's about having that message market match, that you want to find people that when they're asking questions about you and wanting to learn more about your services, you want to be providing answers. When they're listening and becoming more educated about what you provide, then you want to be in that voice as well. And by having a sculpted digital presence, you can create the different areas where this can happen, that someone can go and be searching for you on Google, and then you can be talking to them later on Facebook, so that you can actually be speaking to them when they are open to learning more about you. The other reason why I'm bringing this up is that marketing is a big part of our bigger picture. A lot of planning for years has survived by referrals, and though referrals are important even today, they're still going to end up going into this digital marketing stuff, and I'll explain that a little bit further down the line. But first, I want to talk about Financial Planning 3.0, which is about this bigger way that we are interacting with our finances and the ways that financial planning is a profession and the way that financial planners are a part of that. And before I dive too deep into it, I want to start with a plug. And what this plug is for the whatisfinology.org podcast. And What is Finology is discovering and exploring what Financial Planning 3.0 is, what the nature of our profession is, and what is Finology, which is the study of exchanging value, which a lot of the time deals with money, but there's other ways in which we exchange value with each other as well. And rather than trying to pretend that money is value neutral, we can start to discuss how it is an extremely charged part of our lives. There's writers and podcast recordings from a number of the luminaries of our profession where they go in and they discuss some of the deeper questions that they'd like to share with you, and some of the deeper questions and conclusions that they have that they'd like to carry as we step forward into the 21st century of financial planning. So a big part of this 3.0 stuff is that you are changing people's behavior. That as people learn about you on the web, that they are they're learning from you, that you are impacting their conversations, that people are actually, like, when they have these questions with each other, that they bring up the conversation, and that what you have taught your clients is a part of what's going through those conversations now. And as a result, nowhere in here are you giving advice. This is about you being a thought leader, and it's about you sharing your way of looking at money. This entire process involves telling a story, that rather than actually trying to talk about, this Roth 401k rollover, or this tax strategy, or the best 529 plan to use. Instead, this approach is talking about identifying who it is that you want to work with, putting that down on paper, saying, this is my ideal client and who I want to attract and who I want to work with, and then creating a journey for them that makes it so that as they find their way to you, that you're actually creating an easy glide path, like we saw earlier, where the people who are going to be most attracted to your way of working are going to be the ones that get to the bottom of that funnel. And that before that, the people who leave, those are not necessarily the folks that you want to work with. And that as you go through all of this, that it's continuing to build that relationship, to build that foundation, and ideally, as they interact with your website and your digital presence, there's a ton of statistics. It's very different than financial planning statistics, but this can give a massive amount of insight into why someone's coming to you, what it is that they're trying to learn, and therefore, when you talk to them, and even actually beforehand in your email marketing, you can figure out what people's needs are and speak to that so that you can be that much more valuable to your clients, your prospects, and the folks who are just browsing you on the internet. So, amongst the fellows with this What is Finology.org project, that Rick Kaler really likes definitions. It helps him be able to have something to bounce off of as he's exploring something. And he's on one side of things. And then over on the other side of things, we have Elizabeth Jeton, who very correctly guides and coaches that we don't want to contain what this 3.0 stuff is too quickly, that there's a lot to uncover, there's a lot to discover, and that we're going to do that as we continue to have these conversations. And this is just but one beginning to that. And with Rick, one of the NASRUDEN conferences, we identified that a good starting definition for financial planning 3.0 is how the financial planning profession and how individual financial planners shape and change culture and society. We're doing that it actually, I can see in the conversations that happened when I was young in the 90s and the early 2000s and lately that one, awareness of the CFP marks has drastically increased. A lot of people know who a CFP is and the work that they do at this point. Sometimes there's, they don't know the breadth and depth of the work that you can provide, but most folks have heard of the profession at this point, and that's a huge step forward. And a part of what's happening in that process as well is that our work, the benefits that you're providing clients, that's seeping into the conversations that people are having with each other, that they're learning from you, and that by you being a thought leader in the way that you want to be a thought leader is how you're going to attract the right people to your firm.